Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
This is a catastrophe.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Wednesday. It means we're brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Closing out our week here. We've got a holiday tomorrow. We'll take the day off on Friday. Hopefully you are in the same boat. If you're not off the clock just yet, we'll get you to the finish line here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We're kind of slamming 3 shows into one here. Over the course of the next 2 hours, we're going to talk LSU, Oklahoma. Brandon John will be with us here in a couple of minutes. He covers the Sooners. We'll play some What If Wednesday. I've got my SEC picks against the spread coming up. Pick for LSU and Oklahoma. Pick for the Saints and the Dolphins. Got to pick SEC games against the spread. Tons of stuff to get to over the course of the next 2 hours, and we are so fired up to be here with you. I was looking at my power rankings last week as compared to this week, and there's very little volatility. It's making me feel like I've kind of got it nailed. It took 14 weeks to get here, but I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it. The question is, how do the power rankings line up with my picks that are coming to follow a little bit later? And that really remains to be seen. We'll get to those picks here coming up in about 15 minutes. And then, of course, we haven't talked a lot about LSU and Oklahoma because we've been talking about coaching search stuff. We did a little bit of baseball yesterday. We've been talking about the Saints swapping kickers and losing games to the Falcons. And, we just haven't gotten there yet. And I think it's just natural that LSU at this point, the fan base is not locked in on this game. I wrote a column about this back this morning for LouisianaSports.net. It was just this theoretically is a great deal, LSU and Oklahoma in the season finale, but neither team had anything to play for in this game last year, and LSU has nothing to play for in this game. So you're not getting those huge stakes that you would think you were getting with two programs as proud as LSU and Oklahoma. It just is what it is. LSU's not locked in on this game from a fan base perspective. The players are. We talked to him yesterday, and we'll discuss Whit Weeks and his injury. We'll discuss the injury report that Frank Wilson gave us earlier this week, and we'll hear a little bit more from him coming up later on. But it's just not been a situation that we would have thought after LSU beat Clemson that you're getting into right now. With LSU and Oklahoma, you would have thought there would have been more stakes in this game for LSU, but there aren't. In fact, they don't have a coach, and their quarterback's not playing. So it's just going to be an interesting 4 hours from Norman, Oklahoma. Let's crank things up the way we do every single day. It's with our Genesis opening drive.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Genesis of Baton Rouge.
So we'll get to Brandon Drum here in just a couple of minutes. He covers Oklahoma for On 3 and Rivals. And this is a spot where I believe Oklahoma has to win. They do have 2 really good wins, and there are a lot of volatile things that can happen over the course of the weekend. So we'll get Brandon's thoughts on that, as well as this incredible defense that Oklahoma brings to the table. And what does he make of the offense? So let's bring in Brandon Drum, covers the Oklahoma Sooners for the Rivals On 3 Network. Give us a little bit of time here on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Brandon, we appreciate the time. Happy Thanksgiving. How are you?
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. Let's start with something that I just alluded to. As you might imagine, not a lot of college football playoff talk here in Baton Rouge. A lot of Lane Kiffin talk, a lot of who's next talk, a lot of transfer portal talk. Not a lot of college football playoff talk. Does Oklahoma have to win on Saturday?
Yeah, they do. They have to. You know what? I don't. Look, there are some people at ESPN in particular that think Oklahoma, even with a loss, has a 60% chance of making the playoffs still, but I don't know that I would want to trust that. If I was Oklahoma, I would want to go ahead and take care of business, and instead of, hoping you get in or taking that 60 or 40% chance that you don't, win and go ahead and, stay home and have a home playoff. That would probably be pretty nice.
I think that would be quite nice for the folks up there in Norman. I know about the defense, and we're going to get to that. I'm curious about the offense. What percentage of the midseason slump, specifically the Texas game, can you just solely put on John Mateer's hand that is now, we think, healed and obviously feels better than it did in the Red River rivalry?
Yeah, look, I think in that game in particular, I think he came back, he didn't practice, so he kind of forced things. And I think from that point on, just confidence isn't there. His eyes, his trusting of what he's seeing isn't there the way that it was prior to, him getting injured. Look, I'm of the belief that he probably shouldn't have gotten the surgery during the season because he could have set out and come back. And I don't know the healing aspect, so I'm not a doctor. But just from a mental standpoint, it feels like he kind of screwed him up a little bit. He was 17 of 18 with a broken hand against Auburn. Auburn has a good defense, like a really, really good defense. 17 of 18 the last 3.5 quarters with a broken hand. And he went off and did that, set out, kind of lost his groove, didn't practice before the Texas matchup, and everybody saw what happened. He just wasn't the same wide open guy, not seeing him, and cost Oklahoma a ball game. And it's been that way ever since. Like, he will miss wide open dudes and throw it into double coverage. And you're like, what are you looking at, man? He just rushes. But the one thing you'll never be able to say about him is he's not a gamer, because he is. For some odd reason, in big moments, he makes big plays. And that's why Oklahoma continues to win, because he does just enough to help Oklahoma get over that hump every game.
What are they trying to accomplish on offense if things are going well? Like, what's the identity of this Ben Arbuckle, John Mateer, Oklahoma offense?
Give the ball to 24, Xavier Robinson.
Yeah.
Ride that big dude. He's really, him and Caden Durham are really, really good friends. And same with David Stone. They all grew up together. My son, in the summer, actually trains with Caden and all those guys at this weight facility up here in Oklahoma City. And they're all tight, super good friends. Just so it's kind of funny that both those guys end up, playing for an SEC school. They're very similar players, just kind of power backs, strong, big lower body type guys. But they were all on the same team growing up. Can you imagine that? That's scary. But yeah, that's what you do. You hand it to 24, you let him run, and then you try to get it to number 5, Isaiah Catania, and let him, make a big play or two for you, because that's what he's known to do. Being close to 1,000 yards receiving already this year.
Yeah, he showed that speed against Missouri back on Saturday. Let's go to the defensive side of the football, where Brent Venables has been a star for better than 2 decades in college football. What's the strength of this Oklahoma defense if you had to pinpoint it? I'm sure you've got options there.
Defensive line. I think the defensive line is just elite. It might be the best defensive line in college football. And they're deep. That's the scary part. It's like, our Mason Thomas goes down, no problem. You just throw Marvin Jones Jr. out there, former 5-star. The other side, you got Taylor Wine, who has been All-SEC defensive lineman and defensive player of the week several times this year. Interior, you got Jaden Jackson, top 50 player overall at a high school. You got David Stone, a 5-star. Dominique Williams, who was the most ballyhooed guy. You guys know about that, LSU. Yep. He almost went to LSU. And then Grayson Alton, who was ironically a quarterback in high school and ballooned into being a defensive lineman at Oklahoma, has developed into quite stud. And that's just kind of the surface. You got Adepuju Adebalara, and he is a former 5-star DN as well. Amy Okoye as well, the edge, who LSU recruited very hard. So, they are just super deep, super talented, and they're super young. That's the crazy part about this. Outside of our Mason Thomas, Grayson Holland, and Dominique Williams, they return everybody, literally everybody, next year. So they're young, they're talented, and that's kind of the core of the defense would be the defensive front.
LSU does not run the ball well. They don't really try to run it. They're last in the SEC in carries. Basically, the entire offense at this point is throw it out to perimeter and see if somebody can break a tackle, which more often than not, they don't, which is why they only scored one touchdown against Western Kentucky. So you look at the Oklahoma secondary and how they would match up with LSU, who's pretty athletic on the edge but doesn't do a lot down the field. Like, how's the Oklahoma secondary?
Eli Bowen and Peyton Bowen have both been named Jim Thorpe back-to-back weeks. Jim Thorpe Player of the Week. And one's a corner, one's a safety. Peyton's a safety, Eli's a corner. Eli was a freshman. They both were freshman All-Americans, actually, during their time as freshmen, which is kind of funny. You have Cortland Guillory and Jacoby Johnson on the other end, who will rotate at corner. Gentry Williams been banged up. They're hoping he comes back at some point this year. Maybe this game, maybe, for the playoffs, because he's probably their best corner overall when he's healthy. He just struggles to stay healthy. But they're really deep. Michael Boganowski is just a headhunter. You got Kendall Daniels at Cheetah, who said he grew up an LSU fan, but he's a 6'4", 235, 240-pound Cheetah. He plays safety, nickel, outside backer. Does it all, kind of like Isaiah Simmons back in the day. Does it all for Oklahoma, so he's kind of a special talent. So that's kind of the secondary. I will say at one point they were giving up big plays, but ever since Cortland Guillory, freshman, has kind of found his footing, that's stopped. And when Eli Bowen came back, it really stopped, and you kind of saw a progression there with Oklahoma secondary. So they kind of hit their stride across the board. But, mobile quarterbacks is where they kind of and they struggle a little bit with those. So that's kind of where he's worried.
We'll see. Michael Van Buren certainly more athletic than Garrett Nussmeier. What's your sense on what the ceiling is for this Oklahoma team? Do you think they can win a championship with that defense and scoring enough points, or do you feel like there might be a lower ceiling than that?
I think they can make a run. They're not winning the title. Like, I just, at some point, they're going to lose because they lose a game 28-21. Something to that extent, because your offense just can't muster enough points to help the defense out. And, they've done a good job of not turning the ball over, but the problem is they're relying on Tate Sandell to kick 50-yard field goals every week, too, which he's awesome, probably the best kicker in college football. But you can't do that and expect to win championships. So I think they can make a run. I think their defense will allow them to make a run. I just don't know that they get past Ohio State. And if they do get past Ohio State, I definitely don't know that they get past whoever they meet in the semifinals. So I cannot see them winning a national title this year. Next year, that's a conversation we can have because they return everybody. But yeah, I just can't imagine it this year.
Sounds like the foundation set up there for Brent Venables. Brandon, we appreciate a little bit of time. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday and enjoy the football on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a Thanksgiving too.
Brandon Drum with the On 3 and Rivals Network covering the Oklahoma Sooners. It's a tough matchup for LSU with LSU's offensive line against that ridiculous Oklahoma defensive front. Hopefully Michael Van Buren's athleticism can give LSU a little bit of something. We talked to Michael yesterday, and I've got a story coming up tomorrow on him and how the Tigers plan to attack this Oklahoma defense. But it's not a great matchup on paper. I will promise you that. All right, we step aside. We'll come back, and we will talk a little about the SEC weekend to come here. Rivalry weekend. A lot of action on Friday. A lot more on Saturday. We'll talk about it and pick it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Look, closet space is not something I personally think about a lot. Maybe you're in the same boat as me, but you have somebody move into the house like I did with my fiance at the time, now wife, and she said, this is not going to work. I said, okay, well, I didn't even realize that. We moved because we had another kid. We needed some extra space, so we moved. But you don't have to move to create a new set of closet circumstances for your home. Let David come in and customize one. It starts with a questionnaire in that consultation. What you got? What do you need? Here's what we can do. And if you look at the website, onebathandclosets.com, you'll see the pictures of their awesome work. It is both functional, customized. It's also aesthetically pleasing. It's gorgeous. They're not going to cut corners just to get to the next job and take your check. They're going to do it right the first time and leave the competition behind. So if you are looking for a restored, rejuvenated closet situation, let David Duvall and his team help you out with that. They've been doing it for 3 decades. It's One Bath and Closets. You can find them online, onebathandclosets.com.
Attention diesel mechanics, River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Invite you to shout out my guy Joey Blanchard. Looking to get into the pool of your dreams. Maybe it's a great opportunity to start that process in time for Christmas so that you can give that gift of a designed swimming pool, maybe in picture form, and then it'll be ready by the time the summer rolls around. You can reach out to my guy Joey, who's the owner of the company. Say, hey, can we start this process? Maybe I can think about mentioning it for Christmas. He'd love to help you with that. 225-252-7745. No matter how big or how small you're looking to make that pool of your dreams at your home, Renaissance Homes and Pools, happy to help you out with that. So What If Wednesday coming up next. But right now, we've got to make our picks against the spread. We are so far gone from 500. We're not even looking at the standings this week. We're not even looking at the record books. And we're not going to dive too deep into these games. We're going to give one thought. We're going to make the pick. We've been going too deep into research all year long. What's it gotten us? 1 million games under 500? That's not good for anybody. We're giving one thought and a pick on these games. Let's get cooking. All right, we start Friday at 11 a.m. It is the Egg Bowl. It is Starkville, Mississippi. It's Ole Miss and Mississippi State, and Mississippi State is catching 7.5. I think everybody's going to be on State. Everybody's going to be on State. Everybody's going to be on State. I'm on State. Plus 7.5. Give me a touchdown and a half a point with a motivated Mississippi State team and what's going to be a festive environment in Starkville. Friday, 2:30, ABC, clean old-fashioned hate. It's Georgia at Georgia Tech. Is that right?
Yes.
Georgia at Georgia Tech. That's where that game is.
Well,
Okay.
no, they're playing the Dome.
No, Georgia Tech plays in Atlanta. I wrote this and I feel like that's wrong.
No, they are.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right, it's at Georgia Tech. All right, I want to make sure that was right. I don't like to get that wrong. All right, 13.5 is the number. Let me just tell you, Georgia Tech thinks they're really, really physical. You know who's really, really physical? Georgia. 13.5. Lay the points. Taking it. Friday, 6:30, ABC. It is Texas A&M at Texas. The number is 2.5. The Aggies are favored on the road. Texas got trucked by Georgia when they played a good team, and they were down by 1,000 to State. They're not that good. Texas A&M is good. Revenge spot. Aggies win that one. Give me the Aggies. Minus the 2.5 in Austin. Now we go to Saturday's slate. 11 o'clock. ACC Network. Kentucky at Louisville. Louisville is a 3.5-point favorite. Louisville scored 6 on SMU last week. Miller Moss is questionable. Louisville, not very good. Give me Kentucky, plus 3.5 points. Give me the Cats, plus 3.5.
This might be your best week.
11 o'clock, SEC Network. Another one of these games that nobody cares about. ACC Network for Kentucky, Louisville. SEC Network for Clemson and South Carolina. South Carolina's a 2.5-point favorite in this game. They stink. They're bad. Clemson, revenge spot from last year in Columbia. 2.5 points. Give me Clemson and the points. Vanderbilt is at Tennessee. Now, this is a big one. 2:30 on ESPN. Huge. Let me tell you, Vanderbilt, 15th in the SEC in pass defense. Tennessee, best pass offense in the Southeastern Conference. It's in Knoxville. Vanderbilt's not going to the playoff, people. It's a cute story. It's a nice story. It's not going to happen. Big Brother wins, and they cover minus the 3.5. Give me the balls. 2:30, SEC Network. Saturday, Missouri at Arkansas. Missouri is a 2.5-point favorite. I'm off Arkansas. They're terrible. I keep trying to bet them because their offense is good. They'll probably cover even though they won't win. They won't win. They won't even cover. Give me Missouri minus the 2.5 on the road in Fayetteville. Where are Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier? We need them. 3:30, ESPN 2, Florida State's at Florida. These two teams are awful. They might not make a bowl game. Florida is favored. Florida hadn't been favored in 3 months. Well, they're favored by 1.5 in this one. I got to go with Florida State. Why? I don't know. They're not good. They were good Labor Day weekend. They haven't been good since. Florida's awful. Give me Florida State plus the 1.5, whatever. And then you got the Iron Bowl, 6:30, ABC. We're not getting too deep into this, are we? We're not. It's at Auburn. Does weird stuff happen at Auburn? It does. Is Alabama kind of playing iffy right now? They are. Am I taking Auburn plus the 6.5? I haven't made up my mind.
What? Do it. Come on.
I will take Alabama minus the 6.5.
Get out of here.
Alabama minus the 6.5. Alabama minus the 6.5. Alabama minus the 6.5. Just one touchdown. Auburn has no coach.
I don't like how they're not playing their quarterback either.
They got Deuce Knight. He's good.
But he's not playing.
Why?
They're starting Daniels.
Why do they put Deuce Knight in?
I guess they want to preserve his red shirt. That's what I've heard. They're starting Daniels.
Give me Alabama
now.
minus 6.5. I knew that. See? That's the research I've been doing, Jordan. I'm in. Deuce Knight's good.
He is really good.
Week.
That's why I wanted him to play. They're starting this Daniels guy.
Bama minus 6.5. That's the play.
Oh.
Here are my rivalry week picks. Mississippi State plus 7.5. I'm with everybody. Georgia minus 13.5.
That's going to be a good game.
Texas A&M minus 2.5 on the road at Austin. Louisville stinks. I'm betting against them. Kentucky plus 3.5. Clemson plus 2.5. They're on the road. Tennessee Vols minus 3.5 against Little Brother from Nashville. I got Missouri minus 2.5. I'm so done with Bobby Petrino in Arkansas. Give me Florida State catching a 1.5 in the swamp, and I will take Alabama in Jordan-Hare minus 6.5. Could be my best week.
Could be.
It could be my best week based on limited research.
Hey, sometimes you got to switch it up. You just switched it up. You say you did all the research and it wasn't hitting. Now you just one thing about the game. Let's see what happens.
I didn't see Alabama-Auburn. It was the bottom of my sheet. That's why I didn't have a pick. So I just had to come up with one on the top of my head. I went through all the games and wrote them down and did make sure I outlined them all, and then I missed Alabama-Auburn, which shows a little bit of a lack of show prep, but maybe what I need, because when we take 45 minutes and dive through the whole slate, we just stink.
Yeah.
So we got to change it up. You have to make corrections.
Right.
You got to be willing to adapt. The landscape of college football is changing. I got to change with it. These are my picks. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 6 and 3.
6 and 3?
That's what it is.
Don't sell yourself short. Probably go,
if I'm selling myself short, it's 1 and 8. That's the only way I can sell myself short. I don't think I can go 0 and 9. If I go 0 and 9, that's impressive.
Well,
statistically, 0 and 9 is as impressive as 9 and 0. If you just go by statistics.
Well, yeah, because, you do a sports show, so it's like.
But losing every one of a 50-50 shot is just as impressive as winning every one of a 50-50 shot. The ineptitude is as good as the excellence.
Well, look, Chris Mahler just texted me. He told me to, I guess because I was picking Auburn, to bleep it, Jordan, roll tide. So I'm definitely going Auburn. War Eagle.
I sent a bunch of picks in to Marler earlier today, and they may not match any of the selections I just made. Here's my deal with Marler asked for picks for the graphic on Saturday. I see the text message. Within 40 seconds, there's a response with every pick.
Yeah.
There's no research. And I'm having a good year on that. So, that's all winners.
So you have
that's
the
no
blueprint.
spread.
You have the blueprint already. What to do?
What game do we want to watch? I'm going to talk about that in the next segment.
Georgia versus Georgia Tech is going to be a
Georgia's
brawl.
Georgia's going to dump truck those nerds.
Remember
That's
the game
a nerdy
last year?
school.
Remember the game last year?
They lost. Georgia Tech lost.
They should have won. They got bailed out.
They'll lose again. They're not good.
That game's going to be good.
None of the ACC teams are good. This is the secret.
Yeah.
They need to put me in charge of the committee. I go on the ESPN show that I haven't watched all year this year, and they say, well, what's wrong with the ACC? Here's what I say. They stink. Bad at football. These teams are bad. They play poorly. They lose a lot. We don't care about them. And that applies to a lot of ACC teams. But I did bet on some ACC teams. Florida State, Clemson. Yeah, I bet on
I'm about to say,
two
you
ACC
definitely said
teams.
Florida State. Oh, Lord. I mean, Florida stinks, but Florida State, they're just as about us. They both stink.
Florida State's got 5 wins. They're trying to get bowl eligible in the swamp, baby. Coach Norvell getting not fired. Not an extension, but he's not getting fired. You know why he's not getting fired? Because they don't want to hire against all these other teams.
Yeah, smart.
He's lucky LSU stinks, and Auburn stinks, and Florida stinks, and Ole Miss is going to lose their coach, and Penn State stinks.
Yep.
He's lucky all those teams stink, or else he'd be on his butt.
Oh, they need to get rid of him ASAP. He's on borrowed time.
Kicked our butt twice. Either him or Jordan Travis.
So
either way.
We need to talk about that. Malik Neighbors dropping punts. We don't need to.
Yeah, I did. All right. What If Wednesday coming up next?
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that is on the lot is online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com. And they all come with America's best warranty. Powertrain warranty, 10 years, 100,000 mile. New vehicle bumper-to-bumper warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles. The peace of mind you can get driving off the lot with that warranty, it's industry leading. It's incredible. Talking about enhanced roadside assistant, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No matter where you are, they will come to you. Speaking of that, complimentary scheduled maintenance, and they'll make it valet for you. They'll come to you, get your vehicle, bring it in, do the maintenance work, bring it right back to you. You don't lift a finger. You don't spend $1. 3 years of it for the folks at Genesis. It's a luxury brand. It's a luxury experience. It's all at a reasonable price. Go by and see them. Airline at PQ. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, probably on Airline. Go see them at PQ. Tell them the Hunt Palmer Show sent you in. Get behind the wheel of a Genesis and get America's best warranty. It's all online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
My father, JD Picell, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Picell.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together
to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's Pool.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Reminder, we'll be off tomorrow for the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll also be off on Friday, so back at it on Monday. That's why we're kind of cramming everything into this show. We got our SEC picks in. We'll get our Saints pick in. We'll get our LSU Oklahoma pick in. We'll also talk to JD Picell a little bit later. Got plenty to do over the next hour and a half, so appreciate y'all being with us. This is one of the biggest travel days of the year, so if you are keeping us along for the ride as you travel, wherever that may be, we appreciate it. Hopefully get to wherever you're headed safely and enjoy a wonderful holiday tomorrow and Friday. Back in action on Monday. All right, What If Wednesday?
Time, space, reality. It's more than a linear path. Where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities. Follow me and ponder the question. What if?
All right, let's start off with this top one. So if you could teleport in and out of one rivalry game this weekend, what would you choose?
So I guess your options there, the biggest ones would be Michigan, Ohio State, where Ohio State's undefeated. Michigan is, I believe, only has 2 losses. Is that right?
Yeah, I got you real quick. I got you.
They're right on the
Big Ten Saturday. Michigan does have 2 losses.
So,
yes.
10-2 with a win over Ohio State. That's a good shot to find your way in. I mean, they had a tough loss at Oklahoma. So that's what's one. Certainly Texas A&M. Texas is 9-3. You could make the case that Texas A&M could get to the playoff with a win. I don't know that I would make it because I don't think it's going to happen. But you also got the Egg Bowl, which is just massive implications for Ole Miss. You've got Florida State. You've got the Iron Bowl. You've got Georgia Tech. Like, there's a lot to see. I want to discuss one of them and then give my answer. My answer has got to be the Egg Bowl. That's just going to be high drama. I think Ole Miss is going to send a bunch of people there. If they lose, they might be out of the playoff. Their coach might leave at the end of the game. Mississippi State. It's going to be weird. The Egg Bowl, that's probably where I would go. Texas is an amazing guinea pig for my theory on scheduling in the college football playoff.
Okay.
if Texas wins this game, Texas will have beaten A&M, beaten Oklahoma, gone 9-3, and I believe they'll miss the playoff. Why would they miss the playoff? Because they chose, instead of playing Rice and winning 70-3, to go play at Ohio State and lose, and it will cost them a playoff spot. Instead of rewarding that and saying, oh, wow, you scheduled tough out of league, you played the toughest place you could possibly play, you lost, you came back, you won 9 of your next 11, and including 2 huge wins over Oklahoma and A&M, you're in. They won't do that. They'll go, oh, well, what team only has 2 losses? You're in. And it just proved that you don't need to go schedule that game. If you win it, great. If you lose it, it hurts you. So that's going to be my Texas guinea pig argument if they beat Texas A&M.
Okay.
But the answer for me is got to be the Egg Bowl, because that's just going to be high drama.
Yeah, no, it is. Mine would have to be Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. I got to see if this Pavia guy is real or not. You know, I get it. I still got that bad taste in my mouth from the LSU game. So I just got to see if he's the real deal or not. That's how we're going to decide.
I mean, his work's pretty well established through 2 years.
He's got a good resume. He's brought Vanderbilt out the ashes. But this is the game. This is the game. So
we'll see.
We'll see. So what if Alabama loses the Iron Bowl?
This might be hyperbole. It might be. It might be. I don't know if Kalen DeBoer can recover from that. I guess technically the answer is he could sign another great class, fill your staff out for next year and go out and win a bunch of games next year and you recover. But you start 9-3 last year, lose to Vanderbilt, then you come back with another 9-3 and lose to a coachless Auburn team in the Iron Bowl, in the game that matters the most to that fan base. The fan base is going to be furious the entire offseason. They're going to miss the playoff. I mean, he might have to take the Penn State job. Like, that's what was hypothesized on Monday. That's what Denton Day said. I might ask JD Picell about it in the second hour. I just don't – that's not a – you can recover from some stuff. If they had gone to Athens and lost, like, you can recover from that. The Iron Bowl?
Yeah.
To a team with no quarterback, no coach, no prospects, missed the playoffs 2 years in a row? I don't know about that.
No, you actually make a great point. That could get real hairy real fast. It'll be crazy though if he skips town to go to Penn State after this year. That would be insane. So
maybe it's just a more comfortable landing spot than the pressure cooker of being the guy who followed Nick Saban.
Yeah, without a doubt. So what if you could set the football TV schedule for Thanksgiving?
Easy.
Okay.
Give me the Lions at noon.
Okay. Look at the schedule.
I'll say, give me the just hypothetically, just give me the Lions Packers.
Okay.
At noon.
Well, they already noon though.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Give me the Cowboys at 3:15. Okay. Cowboys Commanders. That's what I want to see at 3:15. Then in the primetime slot, get out of here, NFL. I want the Egg Bowl. When I've had a few drinks, I'm eating some pie. I might be eating my delicious leftover turkey sandwich. Everybody's kind of low vibes. There might be Christmas music on in the other room. I want the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving night. I do not care about the NFL. I don't really need A&M in Texas. I want the Egg Bowl. I want 2 teams that generally speaking aren't playing for a lot, that I don't really care which one wins or loses, battling it out, true hatred on Thanksgiving night. That is what I want.
Okay.
And no NFL, no other college game, the Egg Bowl.
Okay.
Give it the eyes of the nation.
Hunt, have you always been this into the Egg Bowl? Is this a Lane Kiffin?
No, that has nothing to do with Lane Kiffin. It's the perfect, late night, mindless watching game that can oftentimes be funny. Did you see a few years ago when the Ole Miss guy lifted his leg to fake pee, got a 15-yard penalty, and then everybody lost their jobs?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Okay.
You tell me what other rivalry game gives you that.
I mean,
and it's not like I generally speaking, no, Lane Kiffin's changed this in Oxford, but he's about to leave. Generally speaking, there's nothing to play for. It's like they're trying to get their 6th win, they're trying to get their 8th win, but they're kind of on level playing field.
Real hate, though.
It's Dan Mullen, it's Houston Nutt, it's Sylvester Croom, it's Tuberville. That's what I need. That's my rooting interest. The Iron Bowl is too stressful because somebody's trying to compete for a national championship. That's not generally the case in the Egg Bowl. I need the Egg Bowl. Prime time.
I would have never thought you were this big advocate for the Egg Bowl, but here we are.
Get out of here with the Chargers and the Bengals and the Dolphins. I don't want to watch the NFL. That's the afternoon, the nighttime, the prime time.
Egg bowl.
That's the Egg Bowl.
Egg Bowl. Okay, what if a Christmas present is spotted before wrapping?
It's a tough scene. Look.
No, don't tell me.
There may or may not have been a package delivered this week.
Okay.
That was leaned up against the garage that the soon-to-be 4-year-old saw. It's supposed to be delivered a month from yesterday.
Oh, so it's their fault. Yeah.
Well, no. Like, that's when it's technically supposed to show up.
Yeah.
It showed up a month early.
Okay.
So we got a bit of an issue. I think I've smoothed it over. Before he got out of the car seat, I went and dealt with it.
Yeah.
He asked his mom about it the next morning. She just played it off. I think a month down the line, if hypothetically this might show up at a different moment in a different house, he will not put those two pieces together because this was in a box.
Yeah.
It will not be in a box. But it was a tough look. I was a little panicked when he saw it.
As you should have been, because it's like, and he's 4, so you got a lot more years.
He turns 4 next month.
Yeah, he has a lot more years to believe. I'll give you one. I was worse as a kid. I used to go up and, like, at night, sneak in at the bottom of the package, like, pull a little bit of wrapper off. Just each day, just trying to see, like, oh, what this is. But you got to make sure it's not where they see it.
No, I'm the opposite. Like, they used to try. I'm one of 4 cousins. They used to try to can we open one on Christmas Eve?
I'm
yeah. No, we're not opening one on Christmas Eve. It's a Christmas Day thing. I'm not opening a birthday present 3 days early either. It's for a designated day.
I'm an advocate for opening presents early. I used to love them. I'm like, you can get one, open one.
Greedy.
Oh, yeah.
Greedy. It's a bad look on you, Jordan.
Hey, man, I'm a Christmas fiend. Okay, I was a Christmas fiend.
Apparently, my dad used to go into his parents' room when he was a kid at like 4 a.m. and tell them that it was time to go open presents. They were like, go back to sleep.
Oh, no, I'm up early, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Oh, we ain't sleeping. It's time to open some presents up.
That's not early in my house. That's just the time the kids get up. So
Lord.
your day will come, Jordan. Your day will come.
Don't wish it on me right
now.
Not yet,
when I was in college, I used to set my alarm for 10:50 a.m. I know how that goes. I see Cassie nodding her head over there, sleeping till all hours of the day. Not anymore.
I still sleep late.
Those days are long gone. I do, however, have the ability when I wake up at 6:40 with the kids to like fall back asleep on the couch at like 8 for another 30 minutes, which is nice.
That's a real skill.
It can happen.
It's a real skill, right?
It is. All right, that's What If Wednesday. Let's come back and pick Saints and Dolphins next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci's Hitter's House. Marucci's Hitter's House. If you've got a high school baseball player in your home, if you've got a youth softball player in your home, Marucci's Hitter's House is where you need to be. Of course, November the 28th, which is coming up in 2 days, December the 14th, you can get huge discounts on some of your favorite gear from Marucci, Victus, Balm, Lizard Skins. Shop and save. You can also take some hacks in the indoor batting cages. If you get the Marucci Campus Tour, you can get 20% off in the Hitter's House that same day. So for more information and tickets for the campus tour, you can go to maruccisports.com/campus-tour. That's maruccisports.com/campus-tour. It's Marucci's Hitter's House Warehouse sale. It is Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Black Friday. That is November 28th to December 14th. Get on by Marucci and see the Hitter's House.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Look, I can get on board with SEC picks on a Wednesday, considering that there's SEC action coming up in 2 days. It's admittedly tough to dive into the Sunday NFL slate on Wednesday. Like that's a long way out. The Saints are just starting prep for the Dolphins, but it's our last show, so we got to do it this week. I want to talk Saints and Dolphins here. Dolphins have had a weird season. It's been a weird run here. Got off to an 0-3 start. Got off to a 1-6 start, and their only win was against the Jets in Miami. So at that point, you're 1-6 with your win against the Jets. You've lost to the Browns 31-6. You've lost to Carolina. You lost to what we thought was a bad team in New England. Got smoked by Indianapolis. We didn't know those teams were very good yet. And so you buried the Dolphins at that point. McDaniel's going to get fired. You're going to get a new GM. Like, they're going to blow this thing up in Miami. And oh, by the way, they've won 3 of 4. They don't have Tyreek Hill. He's out for the year. But they've played a little bit better, and they've played with a true identity in the last month after getting shellacked by Cleveland. Their identity is very clear. It's run the ball and play defense. You look at their win against Atlanta. They beat them 34-10 in Atlanta. And Devon Achane had 18 carries and was targeted in the pass game 7 times. He had 5 catches. So you had 23 touches in that game for Devon Achane. They win by giving him those touches and holding Atlanta to 10 points. They lose to Baltimore 28-6, get smoked. But then they beat Buffalo. I know, like, division game, they get a little wonky. I get it. But they beat them 30-13. Well, how'd they do that? Well, they gave Devon Achane the ball 22 times for 174 yards, and they threw it to him 6 times. It's 28 touches for Devon Achane, and they held the Josh Allen offense to 13 points. And then they beat Washington last week in overtime. Now, it was a Marcus Mariota Washington, not a Jaden Daniels Washington. But they did it by giving Devon Achane 21 carries for 120 yards and then 5 targets. That's 26 touches for Devon Achane. Like, this is a very, very clear game plan and strategy for this Miami team. That's the Miami side of this. What about New Orleans? Well, I think you've got to change some of the things that you're doing on offense. Number one, and it's been the biggest talking point this week, but it's just very obvious, and it's got to change. You have to stop giving the ball to Taysom Hill on 40%, 50% of your plays in the red zone. Get rid of that. It's not helping your quarterback develop. It's not helping you win games. If it's not helping your quarterback develop and it's not helping you win games, it's not doing anything. So stop. Now, I know why you're doing it. It gives you a numbers advantage. You're trying to help a banged up and patchwork offensive line that's not very good. I get it, but you got to do something different. Kellen Moore was brought here to develop a quarterback and to create an offense that can win games. Get to the roots of that instead of deviating to a Taysom Hill-led red zone approach, which is not working. Now, I don't know what will work. I don't have that part of this equation. But you've got to run the ball with Kamara and then Neal. And then you've got to get these young receivers involved. Shuck has been okay. And I stood here, I guess sat here is a more reasonable description of what I'm doing here. And I talked on Friday. I'm not ready to just, boom, give the fact that Tyler Shuck played great against Carolina. He'll play great again this week. Like, there are going to be ups and downs. Hopefully this is enough. Unfortunately, it's against a Washington defense that's playing very well. I'm not going to give you too much credit for handcuffing Marcus Mariota, but I will give you credit for doing that against Josh Allen. So I don't have the solution, which I guess is part of this gig, but there's another part of this gig, which is you brought in Kellen Moore for the solution. So while I can't give it to you, I'd like to see it from you. You know some of the things that aren't working. You've got an opportunity now with Tyler Shuck having 2 full games under his belt. He's seen this. It's time to do something. And so I feel apprehensive and pretty pessimistic about the Saints offensively. Defensively, I'm just hoping you see something similar to what you saw in Carolina, where you knew they were going to get off the bus and hand the ball to Rico Dowdle, and you shut him down. And you know they're going to get off the bus and hand the ball to Devon Achane. Can you shut him down? The Saints defense has been Jekyll and Hyde. There have been games where you look up and you go, that's pretty damn good. And there have been games where you look up and go, well, that's just awful. And we've gone through that week after week on this show, and I guess that's the nature of a week-to-week NFL. But if you can get the quality defense that you've gotten in some of these games, you were good at Carolina. I thought you were okay against Tampa. You got no help from the offense. Thought you were awful in Chicago. I thought you were okay in New England. Thought you were good against the Giants. Thought you were pretty good against Buffalo. You gave up 31, but I thought they were in the fight. You were good against San Francisco. You were good against Arizona. There are plenty of games where you've been good, but there have been games where you've been terrible. So I don't know which one it's going to be. But at this point, I can't sit here with confidence and suggest that the Saints, aging as they are with some speed on the other side with Miami, no Tyreek Hill speed, but with speed, I can't suggest that the Saints are going to keep up with that to the extent they'd have to bail the offense out against a good defense. So as I look at this, I'm not ready to pick the Saints to go on the road and win much at all. You look at what's coming up. They're not going to win at Tampa. They got a shot to win in Tennessee, and I give them an outside shot to go to Atlanta and win. But you look at their road games thus far, trounced by Seattle, beaten by 2 scores at Buffalo, crushed by the Bears, crushed by the Rams, and then the one good performance at Carolina. One of those is not like the other. I'll take the Dolphins to win this game 20-10 over the Saints. I'm hopeful that there's a little more fireworks from the Saints offense than just 10 points. But as I look at it, I can't sit here and comfortably predict that. So I'll take Miami to win their 3rd straight game, take the Saints to drop their 2nd straight game, to drop the 2-10. And you'll start really looking at draft odds even more closely at that point, especially with a trip to Tampa coming up on the backside of that. So it's tough. It is what it is now, but I'm not here to just blow smoke every Friday, and in this case, Wednesday. I like the Dolphins to win the game, so I'll take them 20-10 in this one. If you're looking for Saints content, you can find it at Hunt on Saints, certainly at LouisianaSports.net as well. Ross Jackson will have you covered through the Thanksgiving holiday. If you're looking for injury report news, Ross will have that daily as we're kind of away as a station, but he'll certainly be there at the Saints facility as we move through the week. Jordan, you ready to pick the Saints to win this one?
Not really, no. I don't know where I'm at with the Saints. Like, that Atlanta game just traumatized me. I'm just show up. That's all I can say. Just show up and just keep it. Don't get blown out by the Dolphins. That's all I can say. Just don't get blown out. That's where I'm at.
Bills got blown out by the Dolphins.
Exactly. So don't do that. You're not the Bills. You don't have that leeway to do that. So no.
Truer words never spoken.
Yeah.
You are certainly not the Bills. Our Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. We got a busy second hour coming up for you. In the second hour, we'll talk to JD Picell of On3 Sports in 15 minutes. I guess 20 minutes from right now, we got our SEC football power rankings coming up at 2:30. When we come back, LSU and Oklahoma pick. We talked to Whit Weeks yesterday about his journey and his injury. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this LSU offense and how they can muster anything against what is a really, really stout defense for Oklahoma. We talked to Brandon Drum about it at the top of the show. So about 50 minutes ago, we chatted with Brandon Drum, who covers Oklahoma for On3. You can catch that at Hunt on LSU. Or you can just wait 5 minutes, and I'll talk about it after we pause for national headlines with SportsCenter. Come back with more next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Renaissance Homes and Pools, built by Renaissance.com. It's built by Renaissance.com. I'm going to give you Joey Blanchard's phone number here at the end of this read. And I tell you that so you can get your phone out, because now's the time to start thinking about getting the pool of your dreams. You've always thought about, I'd love to get into a pool in my own backyard. I'd love an outdoor kitchen. Well, Renaissance Homes and Pools can help you with that. And the beauty of working with Renaissance Homes and Pools is you work with Joey directly. Joey's the owner. He's not going to take a new job in the middle of your gig. He's not going to be thinking about he's going to be locked in, because this is his livelihood, this is his business, and he's helped dozens and dozens and dozens of Baton Rouge area folks get into the pool of their dream. Resort-style pools, little cocktail pools, outdoor kitchens, entertainment areas. Renaissance Homes and Pools can do it for you. Give Joey a call, 225-252-7745. It's 225-252-7745. Check them out, builtbyrenaissance.com.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Chiefs ruled out a trio of key contributors for their Thanksgiving Day game against the Cowboys. Right guard Trey Smith, tight end Noah Gray, and cornerback Chris Roland Wallace. Dallas receiver George Pickens, limited in the one practice during this short week with knee and calf issues, but he's set to play, and he's part of the biggest matchup for tomorrow's game, explains ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday.
At some point, you got to stop explosive plays on the back end, and whether it's CeeDee Lamb, whether it's Pickens, whether it's Ferguson, Dak Prescott is putting the ball on these guys, and it's yards after catch. Can they do that? Can they limit that? Because defense wins championships, and we're getting into championship time. That's just the reality of what it is.
The Chiefs are 10th in the AFC, Cowboys 10th in the NFC. Falcons receiver Drake London will likely miss a second straight game Sunday against the Jets with a PCL strain in his left knee. The NCAA Men's and Women's Basketball Oversight Committee has proposed shorter transfer windows to 15 days after the end of the men's and women's NCAA tournaments. If approved, they would go into effect in April of 2026.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, I'll tell you why what we see on Turkey Day will impact the playoff picture. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
This is a catastrophe.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Hour 2, Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. JD Picell will be with us in 15 minutes. SEC Power Rankings coming your way as well. And our LSU Oklahoma pick coming up at the end of the show. Let's talk about LSU and Oklahoma. Kind of big picture, okay? I realize there are other things on folks' mind. Holidays, hiring a new coach. Coaches' lawsuits against LSU, like plenty of other things. But there is one more game to play here. And the matchup is so poor for LSU's offense against Oklahoma's defense that I want to start on the other side of the ball and talk about Oklahoma's offense against LSU's defense. Keep in mind, this Oklahoma offense is not very good. Oklahoma, in terms of the SEC, is 13th of 16 teams in total offense. Oklahoma on the season averages 350 yards per game. LSU averages 345 yards per game. Oklahoma's 13th, LSU's 14th. Florida and South Carolina are worse. So if you've looked at LSU's offense and you've gone, well, these guys are terrible, what a bad offense, and you look at Oklahoma's offense, you would have to say about the same thing. I showed you how close they are, 13th and 14th. They're 5 yards per game apart. If you look at yards per play, Oklahoma gains 5.31 yards per play. LSU gains 5.30 yards per play. It's the same. Now, LSU doesn't have Garrett Nussmeier, and John Mateer is back. But the point stands that it's not been a great Oklahoma offense to this point. They are winning games with their defense and a really strong running game. You look at the scores of these big wins that they're scoring. They beat Missouri 17-6. They beat Alabama 23-21. Now, they beat Tennessee 33-28, which does stand out a little bit. But keep in mind that Tennessee has a porous defense on the back end. They don't do a good job in terms of pass defense. The guy that Oklahoma wants to get going, we talked to Brandon Drum about this in our first segment, is Xavier Robinson. He's running back, 6 feet tall, 240 pounds, and they want to get him going. But they haven't featured him to the extent that I think they probably should. The one time they did was against Tennessee. They gave him 16 carries for 115 yards. He scored a touchdown. That's the only game this year he's gotten more than 12 carries. That's telling to me. Like, why do you have this guy who is averaging 5.5 yards per carry, who has played in 8 games this year, and you're not giving him the ball as much as the statistics suggest you probably should? But he's probably their best player on offense, considering the way that Mateer has played since the injury. And that's something that I would count on Brandon Drum, who we had on our first segment today, more than I would count on myself there, because he watches every snap and I just see what I see. But Mateer, since the injury, just has not been nearly the same. He threw for 392 in the opener, 270 against Michigan, 282 at Temple, 271 against a good Auburn defense. Then he got hurt. Comes back. 202 yards and 3 picks against Texas. South Carolina, 150 yards. Ole Miss, 223. Tennessee, 159. Alabama, 138. Missouri, 173. It's been underwhelming. I just showed you that their running back's not been a bell cow in terms of carries, and their quarterback has only cracked 200 yards once since October the 11th. This is not a great Oklahoma offense. Now, LSU is going to use Whit Weeks for about 30 snaps based on what he told us last night. He's still recovering from a broken ankle, and he's going to give him what he can. He split that ankle in half. It's healing. It's probably going to take till the bowl game, but he's going to give him what you got. Mansour Delane, I'm not sure. I'm a little bit doubtful. We'll see what Frank Wilson has to say on Wednesday night. We'll see what the injury reports say. But you may be missing him the whole game and Whit Weeks a good portion of the game. How badly does that hurt? Because you had Delane against Arkansas. You didn't have Weeks, but he's a big piece to what you're doing. I like LSU against the run pretty good. I think they're deep enough and stout enough to hold their own. Can DBU cover up these Oklahoma receivers, specifically Isaiah Satania, who is a big-time home run hitter with his speed? I think they'll do okay. I think LSU's defense will come to play. Then you have to go to the other side of the ball, and you've got to go to the LSU offense. And when you look up national statistics, sacks, Oklahoma leads the nation in sacking the quarterback. 2 more than Texas A&M, almost 4 a game. Well, LSU is coming to this game with no left tackle and no starting center and a backup quarterback. That is a recipe for disaster to me. Now, can you run the ball? Well, Oklahoma leads the nation in tackles for loss, and they're 3rd in the nation in rushing defense in terms of yards per game. You look at yards per carry, they're 2nd in the nation. So you're probably not going to run it great, and you probably can't protect the passer great. That's a tall order for Alex Atkins. I'm sorry. I realize he wasn't brought to LSU to run the offense, call the plays, and be the offensive mastermind, but this is a tall order for him. And I know that everyone gets frustrated with the consistent screens and throwing it out to the perimeter, But if you can't run it and you can't drop back and plan on getting the ball down the field, all that really leaves is dumping into the flats and throwing screens. And that's what LSU has done a ton of. You look at the SEC statistics in terms of completions, and because of what LSU does, you see that they're 2nd in the league, just 3 completions behind Alabama. There's a world where LSU, through 12 games, leads the SEC in completions. And it's an indictment on the offense because it's the only thing they can do is just flip it out there to be caught. You look at yards per attempt, LSU falls down to 14th in the SEC. They complete a lot of passes. They don't get a lot of yards per attempt. It's a bad matchup. I don't know what else to tell you on that front. I got a question today on Lafayette Radio on the hit that I was doing. Well, what would give you confidence that LSU could win the game? And I said, well, I think if they played it 20 times, LSU would win 2 or 3. That's what I think. With Van Buren, no Tyree Adams, no Braylon Moore, maybe no Aaron Anderson, no Nussmeier. Like 2 or 3, I think you win out of 20. 10%, a little bit more than that. And the way you would win is your defense comes to play. And like Missouri held Oklahoma to 17 points, hold them to 13 or 17. And try to beat them the way you beat South Carolina. Try to beat them the way you beat Clemson. Sadly, try to beat them the way you beat Louisiana Tech. And try to beat them the way that you beat Western Kentucky. Now, I'll say that tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but that's the blueprint. You get a turnover, set up a short field, punch one in, maybe you hit a trick play on them. But, like, if you just line up, if LSU just lines up and runs this thing traditionally and both teams play to about their standard, Oklahoma's going to win by 2 scores because you're just not ready to deal with that defense play in and play out. Now, for one play, for a big play, sure. Now, for one play, for a trick play, sure. And if you don't need a lot of plays because your defense keeps you in it, keeps that score low, maybe. That's the blueprint. But I have my sincere doubts about whether or not LSU can get that done. So I'll pick it now. I was going to say for the end of the show, but I'll pick it now. I think that Oklahoma smothers LSU defensively in that stadium in this spot. I think LSU cannot block them. I think that they're forced into several 3-and-outs. I think the defense is put in almost an impossible spot because of that. And I think the game gets out of hand in the fourth quarter. I'm picking Oklahoma to win it 26-6. I see a game where LSU can't sustain drives. And when you can't sustain drives, your defense plays too much, you lose field position, and Oklahoma will eventually, in front of that crowd, find a way to crack into that LSU defense, especially if Whit Weeks has a sit-down, if Mansour Delane doesn't play. You're just not quite the same unit that you once were. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope LSU goes up there, puts up a valiant fight, and even finds a way to win the game. But to me, I got 26-6, Oklahoma beating LSU in Norman on Saturday. I hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm dead wrong. We'll ask JD Picell about it when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that's on the lot is online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com. Been telling you, but if you want to rent a vehicle for Christmas, I know a lot of folks go on road trips. You don't love to put those miles on the vehicle, especially if you're going some long distances. Well, get a rental. Genesis of Baton Rouge. Maybe you've never been behind the wheel of a Genesis. You'd love to see the difference. They're happy to let you do that. Get behind the wheel of the GV80. It's a great midsize SUV. Perfect for a small family. You can get in there and cruise along. You'll see the comfort. You'll see all the bells and whistles, the safety features. It's an IIHS top safety pick. Every line of vehicle, every model in the line is a top safety pick. You're in one of the safest cars on the road. You can trust your family behind the wheel of a Genesis. So get by an airline at PQ. Get a rental for the Christmas season for that road trip, and you will see that Genesis difference. It's a luxury brand at a reasonable price. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge. They're on airline at PQ and online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream.
My father, JD Picell, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Picell.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools, built by Renaissance.com, built by Renaissance.com. Let's go out to Jim's Firearms Hotlines, where we find our guy, JD Picell, on 3 Sports, host of The Hard Count, talking all things college football. JD, how we doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. Are we getting the welcoming parade ready in Baton Rouge for King Kiffin? Are we making the arrangements? Or
There's something like that. I think there's a lot of anticipation. I think a lot of expectation for the weekend. We're just, when you don't know when that day comes, it's a tough thing to try to extrapolate out. I know that we're not talking a lot about LSU and Oklahoma around here, that's for sure. I want to ask you a question. We'll take travel and expense out of it. I'm going to allow you to teleport in and out, 50-yard line, free tickets. You get to go to one game this weekend. Where are you going?
Oh, gosh. This is a good question. I'm going to go Michigan, Ohio State.
Okay.
And I went to this game in 2022 when it was in Columbus and was down there before the kick. And, I think everyone gets a little bit cliche around rivalry time. They say, oh, there's nothing like it. Oh, you can't describe it. Oh, there's something in the air. And, it sounds cliche to say that, but I think it genuinely applies for this rivalry. And my biggest concern, when we went from 4 to 12 in this whole playoff expansion discussion was, well, that game's been awesome at the end of the regular season because the loser of that game has been out of the college football playoff, more likely than not. It's how it feels when that game ends. But with Michigan being 9-2, with them getting bumped up to 15 last night, if Michigan loses that one, Hunt, they're out. But if they win, they're in. And so the vibes and the stakes around that one, with it being in Ann Arbor, I'm going to Michigan, Ohio State. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Interesting. Who do you think wins?
I picked Ohio State the last 4 years. So, shoot, if you're a Michigan fan, you're like, hey, keep picking the Buckeyes. So, it's got to flip at some point, right? I think that looking back at this game, the quarterback for Ohio State, whether it be Stroud or McCord or Howard, the last 3 seasons has thrown 2 interceptions. Julian Sainz, a young buck, first-year starter, obviously, less credentials than some of those guys, but that ball doesn't touch the ground. I don't think it goes to the other team twice. I think that's the difference for Ohio State. I think they get it done.
So I'll give you a second option. Where's your second game you like to go to? I'll let you drive the bus here.
I would have said Cornell Columbia, but that was last week, so
nope.
I'm out of luck there. I think the Iron Bowl. I feel like I'm going down just the most basic rivalries here, but that rivalry is one I've never been to. With it being in Jordan-Hare, everyone says that place is haunted. Everyone says weird things happen there, and they do. And so I'd love to just feel firsthand what that experience is like. And also, too, I've picked like two of the most salty and nasty rivalries. So honestly, like those two to me, I think would be the ones I've gone to experience. And doesn't it just feel like it's sort of ripe for the picking for Auburn? I'm still picking Alabama, but like the line's 5.5. It's in Jordan Hare. It's at night. Auburn has, I guess you could say, something to play for with bowl eligibility, but what they're really playing for is just ruining Alabama's year and sending them into a tailspin in the Kalen DeBoer vibe category. That's what I'd be really excited to experience firsthand.
I'm not even close to alluding to that. They would fire Kalen DeBoer on Sunday if they lost that game. But like, could he recover from a loss to a 5-win Auburn team with no coach and no quarterback when you're trying to play for the playoffs and haven't been in your 2 years? Like, could he realistically keep going with that?
I mean, you're in a deep hole at that point, optically, right? I mean, it almost reminds me a little bit, and it's a little bit more extreme in some ways on the other side of this coin, but like all the vibes around Ohio State last year when they lost to Michigan again, it was like Ryan Day is never going to be a bad enough coach to where you fire him. Like, I don't think Kalen DeBoer will ever be a bad enough coach to where Alabama fires him, but if you go 9-3 the first 2 years, considering what you took over, considering what we were saying about you after you won, 4 ranked games in a row against SEC team, like there was just all of this momentum. And so for it to come down to the last game of the regular season and you lose to that team and their positioning, I think we'd be right back to where we were after week 1, Hunt, where, again, it's not a thing where, like you said, you're not firing Kalen DeBoer, but golly, you're rethinking a lot of things about how you're assessing Alabama football. The black hoodie stuff becomes a lot less cool and fun to talk about at that point. Like all the stuff that feels good vibes around Tuscaloosa, like we go right back to where we were after Florida State and Thomas Castellanos calls his shot and hits it after beating Alabama.
Do you give the Texas Longhorns a fighting chance against the Aggies coming over to Austin?
This is like my heebie-jeebie game of the week, Hunt. I think you could talk yourself into a 9-3 Texas, getting enough chaos and backdooring their way in. But for the most part, this is about hatred. There's really no massive stakes for Texas. I suppose the stakes for Texas A&M are if you win, you go to Atlanta, so that's something. But even if you lose, you're still in the college football playoff. I'm looking at A&M secondary, and they're great by the numbers, but every single SEC game they've played, they've allowed a completion of 30 yards or more. And so Arch Manning hasn't been, Bart Starr by any stretch of the imagination this year, but he's starting to really find his own. He's starting to see it. He looks more confident. He looks more comfortable. And so I wonder if the combination of house money plus the way that A&M's looked, in my opinion, a little bit gettable and explosive plays downfield, I think it comes down to special teams, Hunt. I really do. And if you're an A&M fan looking at your kicker and I hope it doesn't come down to a field goal, no knock on Randy Bond, but it hasn't been the year that he wanted to have. He's 61% on the year, which isn't a number you're thrilled with if you're an Aggie. So I think that line is right about on the money with it being 2.5 favoring the Aggies on the road. I think A&M wins, but gosh dang, I think it is far from comfortable for the Aggies the entirety of this one.
I think the Aggies are going to take it to them. It's a Texas team that got smoked. They got smoked by Georgia. They were down 2-3 scores at Mississippi State. I think that A&M is going to go over there and exact a little revenge from last year. That's my take, but we'll see how it goes. What happens in Starkville, Mississippi on Friday?
Here's the thing. I don't even think Lane Kiffin knows, which is the funniest part about this whole thing. And talking to people that track this sort of thing for a living, I'm trying to get intel, I'm trying to get content ready for whatever he does on Friday or Saturday or whatever. They're legitimately, nobody knows, especially Lane Kiffin. So that whole part of the equation makes me think the longer this goes, the less likely it is he stays at Ole Miss. Something really interesting, though, that caught my attention this morning, Brett McMurphy of On3 took a poll across college football media to, gauge people's guesses on what they think Lane Kiffin does. And they won Chris Lowe, who is just enormously dialed, as you well know, Hunt, in this whole space, especially majoring in Lane Kiffinology. His prediction was he stays at Ole Miss. And so that kind of has me rethinking things. I still think he leaves for LSU. I think it makes too much sense. But wouldn't it be just like Lane Kiffin if after all this smoke around him leaving, he's non-committal, he's this, he's that, he walks up to the presser after an Egg Bowl win and says, no, I'm not leaving. Jordan Belfort style, I'm not leaving.
How would the Ole Miss fans feel about that?
I mean, when you've outkicked your covers in some respects, I think you're sort of just happy they're staying with you, right? I mean, like that was my whole take when I was dating my wife. I was like, if I get a slow response when it comes to a text message or, we're busy every night of the week on a weeknight, and I'm like, how are you busy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? I'm like, but as long as you're not breaking up with me, as long as we're still an item here going forward, like, I'm good with it. I think that's kind of your take if you're Ole Miss. Like, yeah, it makes sense LSU and Florida are throwing bags at you, but I will say this too, Hunt. If he doesn't leave for these two jobs, I don't know what job he leaves for outside of the NFL. Like, I think if you're not leaving Ole Miss for LSU or Florida, I think you are staying at Ole Miss until he retires or until he takes a job in the NFL. That's truly my opinion on this. I think if he stays at Ole Miss, you feel massive security of, okay, then he's not leaving probably ever.
I'll give you a hypothetical on that then. After what we just talked about, Kalen DeBoer loses 2 games in September next year, and he stayed and Kiffin has stayed at Ole Miss, and Bama comes open. You don't think we're going to do this all over again next November?
I think we will do a version of this, but I think he's making up his mind right now of, if I'm going to leave this place, it's going to be right now. Because, I mean, honestly, and I'm curious to hear what your take is on this. Like, in my mind, yeah, Alabama is a tremendous job. It's like the job, obviously, for Lane Kiffin. He's always getting linked to. But, like, I mean, if you're not leaving for LSU, like, is the LSU and Alabama job really worlds apart? Like, I don't think so. I think the LSU job is probably better than the Alabama job based on the track record of what different coaches have done. Like, Saban's obviously crushed at Alabama. Bear Bryant's a legend. Like, there's that part of this. But, like, in terms of different personalities and different eras that have had success, like, I think the LSU job is better.
And maybe the timing's better next year if they're not in the playoff, which is really what we think this entire hang-up is all about. But it's just, you listen to so much from the Ole Miss folks, and the fact of the matter is that this is supposed to have been the greatest 3-week stretch in modern Ole Miss football, and it's been one of the worst because of everything that's going around it, and to not take any time to promote your program, and to not send out all your tweets this week, and to not take time to promote what's going on in Oxford, instead just looking very sheepish and staring around the microphone. Like, this is not Homer LSU Hunt talking. This is like just reasonable, realistic stuff. Like, he's deflecting everything in a moment where you should be embracing and promoting everything. And I just don't know if the Ole Miss folks, especially the high dollar boosters, are going to look very kindly on that.
Can I take a swing here, a guess at what I think that conversation was like with Kiffin and Keith Carter?
Sure.
I think the discussion on last Friday when they made the statement of he'll decide after the Egg Bowl, yada, yada, yada. I think the discussion was, hey, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to finish the season here. I want to stay here. I want to see this through. I want to be at Ole Miss until the season ends. LSU and Florida, if they want me, they'll wait. Maybe some version of that was said. Then I think Keith Carter came back with, Lane, I can't let you do that. Like, if you're not going to be here, I need an answer so I can go get a head coach. And then if you're not going to be here, like, I can't allow you to coach the college football playoff. Just like I'm reading the body language, reading the vibes at his press conference. It felt like he was a bit dejected of, I don't want to be in this spot. He said, I'd love to finish the season with this team, essentially. He said, there's always my plan to finish the season with this team. But given what I believe the framework to be that he's working with, I think it's either leave after the Egg Bowl or stay here and see this whole thing through, but you're not taking another job.
It's wild times. I'm ready for the conclusion of it. I know everyone in Oxford is as well. So we'll just see what things shake out over the course of the next 5 days or so. Enjoy the turkey, enjoy the football, and we'll talk next week.
Looking forward to you and I talking next week with Lane Kiffin being your next head coach.
That may very well happen. Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Go Tigers.
That's it. JD Picell, host of The Hard Count on 3 Sports. Wherever you find your podcast, search The Hard Count, search his name, JD Picell. He's with us every single Wednesday. Appreciate us giving time every single week. Come back. A little SEC football power rankings. Got 30 minutes left to go on The Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com. I'm still sore. It's getting better. Hit 610 golf shots at Swing Easy Golf Club back on Sunday. If you hadn't seen the stream, you can check it out on YouTube. It's just an awesome place to go hang out. You can hit some balls on the simulator. You can put the driving range on. You can put any of the courses that they've got queued up there. You can play with your friends, work on your game, put the television on as we did. We had an ice chest there. They got cold beer. They got seltzers. They got wine. If you got family in town this weekend, you're thinking, what are we going to do? LSU's not in town and got some people here. Don't necessarily have a tee time to go play golf. Well, go to Swing Easy Golf Club on Segan at Perkins. Stop on by, get one of those individual bays. They got comfortable furniture, and you can make it your own for a few hours over there at Swing Easy. Great place to hang out, great place to socialize, great place to become a member, which you can do over at Swing Easy Golf Club. It's on Segan at Perkins, online at swingeasygcbr.com, swingeasygcbr.com.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
My father, JD Picell, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Picell.
I'm lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Attention diesel mechanics, River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safe.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Start your Saturday with us. One more game day for LSU football. It'll be a 2:30 kickoff on ABC. That means 9:30. Rouse's Burbank and Lee, Matt Musso, Charles Hannegriff will be with you on Eagle 98.1 Game Day's pregame show. They'll go for 3 hours until 12:30. They'll toss it to me on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Myself, Brandon Taylor, Marlon Favorite with you from 12:30 to a little bit after 2 o'clock. Then we'll hand it off to the broadcast team for LSU and Oklahoma. 30 minutes after it goes final, me, Brandon, and Marlon on the Fighting Tiger post-game report, taking your interaction, talking LSU and Oklahoma for an hour. 90 minutes after the game goes final, Charles Hannegriff, Richard Dixon right here in the Raising Cane studio, taking your phone calls for one final regular season time. So 9:30, we'll start things on Eagle 98.1, and we'll run through probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 o'clock p.m. for post-game. So join us one more time for LSU's regular season finale. Tigers looking to get to 8-4 on the season, 4-4 in league play. Oklahoma trying to punch their ticket to the college football playoff with a 10-2 season. Sooners 10.5-point favorite in that game in Norman. All right, one more time in the regular season, and then I think we got one more coming next season It's time for SEC Football Power Rankings.
Hunt's SEC Power Rankings.
Still got the Aggies in the number 1 spot. Texas A&M! I think they're the best team right now. Have they been tested to the degree of some of the other teams? No. Would it stun me if Texas punked them on Saturday or Friday? A little bit. But it's possible considering that their schedule has been putrid in league play. But I still think they're good. Their quarterback's very good. I got the Aggies at 1.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia might be the best team in the country. It's possible. But they did get beat by Alabama. And they've kind of played down to their competition in some of the early games. But they're rising up. They're playing better right now. We'll see what they got for Georgia Tech coming up this weekend. But I got the Dogs at number 2. They could be number 1 this time next week.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Defense is a powerful thing. Mateer, he's got a chance, but he's not been great. I just feel like their defense is the most established unit of these next few teams. That's why I'm leaving them in the 3 spot. Do I feel awesome about it? No, because I think this next team's pretty good.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
But they may not have their coach, and who knows what that means. Trinidad Shameless has been awesome. Kejuan Lacey deserves some Heisman recognition. Defense has been okay under Pete Golding. It's what and what. Ole Miss did go to Norman and beat them relatively easily, but I do think you're looking at a different Ole Miss team right now because of the uncertainty with the coach, so that might be unfair. They're probably number 3, but I like Oklahoma's defense, so I'll put Ole Miss at 4.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Tide needs to show me something against Auburn. Don't screw around here. Don't screw around here. I know you lost to Oklahoma. Don't screw around in the Iron Bowl. This is where you start to get some teams with some significant flaws right there on that playoff threshold. Bama's they don't run the ball well, and they don't stop the run well enough. But I still got them because their quarterback's good and they're very talented at number 5.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Vols can really chuck it around, and I think they'll beat Vanderbilt, which is why I had them ranked ahead of Vanderbilt here. They're not a playoff team. They're not a threat to be a playoff team. They've got some work to do under Josh Heupel to be more consistent year in and year out, but I think they're a pretty good team. I've got them at 6.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
I just think that Tennessee's going to beat them this weekend on Saturday, so that's why I've got Tennessee ahead of them. If the game was in Nashville, I would consider taking Vanderbilt. I would probably still take Tennessee. Maybe that's disrespectful to Vanderbilt, but I just did not like the way the first 3 quarters went against Texas. Vanderbilt's good. Their quarterback's very good, and he deserves to be in the Heisman Trophy conversation, but I'm not going to crown you because you went nuts against Kentucky last week. Do it in Knoxville. We'll see.
The Texas Longhorns.
Moved Texas up 1 spot to number 8. They scored 50-something points, but it is against Arkansas. You'll hear about Arkansas a little bit later on. Their defense is talented. Arch has played much better the last month. I don't think they're going to go beat Texas A&M in Austin, but I've got them there at number 8.
The Missouri Tigers.
I backed Missouri up a spot. Couldn't score a touchdown against Oklahoma with Bo Prabula back in the saddle. That's a demerit of sorts. Decent defense, really good running back, decent quarterback, decent coach. That's a decent ranking of 9.
The LSU Tigers.
You're telling me I got to put one of these teams behind LSU in front of them? I don't think so. If I got LSU at 10, their defense is still pretty good. The offense is not. But, I mean, listen to who's behind them, and I can't move them down any further.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
I got Kentucky at 11. Are you sure I'm going to put LSU behind Kentucky? I'm not. LSU's defense is legitimate. They got some pros on that team. Give me LSU at 10, Kentucky at 11.
The Florida Gators.
I can't put Florida ahead of Kentucky. They lost by 1,000. So Kentucky is 11. Florida is 12. They're bad. They've got
the
a
Mississippi
good running back.
State Bulldogs.
Whatever. Mississippi State's bad too. Mississippi State has won 1 game of their last 17. Are they going to win the Egg Bowl? They're going to cover. That's what I said earlier in the hour. But they're not very good. They're 13th.
The Auburn Tigers.
I moved Auburn up a spot. And these teams stink. The bottom of the SEC is bad. Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi State, Auburn. That's a bad 11 through 14. LSU at 10 is not very good. Bottom of the league is not good. Auburn did look good with Deuce Knight at quarterback. He's technically still on the team, even if he's not going to play on Saturday. I moved Auburn up a spot because Deuce Knight ran all over Samford or Towson or Mercer. I think they played Mercer. He ran all over them, so I move him up because he's on the team.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
I moved South Carolina up a spot too. They were at the bottom. I've moved them up out of the bottom. Why? Well, it's more to do with the 16th team, which if you can do deductions, you understand who that's going to be. They're still bad, but they've still, I don't have anything nice to say about South Carolina. Just go to 16.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
I'm done with the Hogs. I tried. I moved them up to like 13. They hadn't even won a league game. Moved them up to 12, I think, at one point. Well, their offense is really good. Well, they lose a bunch of one-score games. They lose every week, and they give up 50 to Texas. So I'm done. I'm done with Bobby Petrino. I'm done with Arkansas. I'm done with them. Done with Taylor Green. If they want to go and beat Missouri this week, I'll reconsider for the final rankings. But I haven't seen anything that's going to indicate that's going to happen. Maybe they hired a coach today. Maybe they didn't. There's a report. It hadn't been corroborated. But this team is last. I can't move on without saying that. Those are your power rankings. Here after Week 13, A&M, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Bama, Tennessee. That's your top 6. Vanderbilt at 7, Texas at 8, Missouri at 9, LSU at 10, Kentucky at 11, Florida at 12, Mississippi State at 13, Auburn at 14, South Carolina at 15, and Arkansas at 16. You know, we hear a lot of people, Jordan, say that the Big Ten is top-heavy, that it's really not deep, it's really not good.
I agree with them.
Did you hear me read off the bottom of the SEC?
Yeah, I did. You know, it stinks. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Florida,
not going to act like
Auburn, South Carolina, Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State.
I get it, but
I mean, Mississippi State beat Arizona State. Auburn beat Baylor. South Carolina's favored over Clemson. But no. It's a bad bottom of the league.
See, so I'm looking at the Big Ten right now. I mean, come on, man. I would take Auburn over Purdue or
Auburn can't score.
But at least I know they got NFL players coming from Auburn. They do. I can't say the same about Purdue. I can't say the same about Rutgers.
I think all of Auburn's defensive NFL players play wide receiver.
Oh, Cam Coleman. Saints, please. I mean, we'll be bad next year, so I don't got to worry about that. He'll be in the mix. Don't worry. The Saints are not going to be out the top 10 next year, so we should be looking at Cam Coleman, Jeremiah Smith, one of those boys. We need them bad.
I will say the top 8 is good.
Very good.
A&M, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Texas. For Texas to be the 8th team is decent.
Well, Hunt, I'm looking at the bottom of the Big Ten. Wisconsin.
Awful.
UCLA.
Terrible.
Purdue. Rutgers.
Awful.
Northwestern. Minnesota.
By the way, the Big Ten. So Ohio State has not played Michigan yet. They will. So we'll put that to the side. But they did not play Indiana. Did not play Oregon. Oregon did not play Ohio State. Oregon did not play Michigan.
Oregon lost to Indiana, right?
Lost to Indiana.
Okay.
Like, they didn't. The top of the league didn't play each other. Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State avoided each other.
Yeah.
Well, that's convenient.
And also add on, Michigan played USC.
Michigan plays Ohio State, and Indiana played Oregon. But, Ohio State just skating. And it's the same thing I've talked about with Texas A&M. So let's look at A&M's SEC schedule. We've done this a couple of times. They played 16. They played 15. They played 14. They played 13. They played 12. They did not play 11. They played 10. They played 9.
Oof.
And they'll play 8. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So the exception, they did not play 11 Kentucky. But in my power rankings, A&M played 8 of the bottom 9 in the SEC. Now, that's one hot air blowing midday host that you could find. You could shake your rankings out however you want. But getting an SEC schedule that includes 8 of the bottom 9 is almost statistically impossible.
Yeah.
No Georgia, no Oklahoma, no Ole Miss, no Bama, no Tennessee, no Vanderbilt.
They didn't play nobody.
They managed after all those years of spoiling opportunities and wasting resources and just utter choking by Texas A&M.
2022.
They finally managed to get the stroke of good fortune where they formed a good team and they got the easiest schedule.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. And I will say this. A&M doesn't have to apologize for that.
Yeah, you can't apologize for winning.
Because Ohio State's sure not going to apologize.
Never.
And Oregon's not going to apologize. And Indiana's not going to apologize.
Indiana, Cursignetti.
No, whoever wins the ACC is not going to apologize.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. The only team that's going to stand up and beat its chest because of what they did last year, Georgia got assigned to go 2 Ole Miss and 2 Bama and 2 Texas last year, and they still made the playoff and won the SEC because they're Georgia and they're a different animal than just about everybody in the league right now. But part of the deal in college football is scheduling.
Yes.
And it's what I talked about all the time with, who do you want your permanent opponent to be? Well, I'd kind of like to play Vanderbilt and Kentucky every year. And then everybody's like, well, no, I want to play the toughest. Well, playing the toughest usually doesn't work out for a lot of people. Good for your ego, I guess, if you want to beat your chest. I'd rather play the crappy teams like A&M has done and be undefeated and playing for a national championship. I'd rather play the crappy teams like Ohio State has done and go try to win a national championship. That's just my 2 cents.
No, I totally agree. I don't know if I want to see Vanderbilt every year no more, but I definitely agree we got to get the bottom feeders. But I think the SEC is still the top conference. People,
it is.
You know, the Big Ten people have been chirping since Ohio State and Michigan won championships. But, again, the names we just rattled off out of the Big Ten, Maryland, Minnesota, Penn State now, Purdue, those guys can hold a cup of water to a couple of SEC teams. I don't care what their records are.
Let's come back and finish it out for the week. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com is the website. I was talking to Jonathan Carbo earlier this week. He's partner over there, and he said, look, there are folks that are calling almost daily now because their benefits, certainly their health insurance from a commercial perspective, is climbing. The rates are out of control. If you're a business owner or a CFO or you're in charge of benefits and HR or whatever the case may be, and you're seeing just monster rate increases on your benefits, call the Highland Insurance Group. They're happy to give a second look at it. It's generally been the same carrier that's climbing and climbing and climbing, and the Highland Insurance Group is happy to be your next option. So go to HighlandIG.com. Realize they'll help you out anywhere in the state of Louisiana. They're based here in Baton Rouge. I tell you every single day about their property and casualty from a commercial perspective, and they do that excellently. They can also help you with your employee benefits as well. So if you've seen a huge increase in your premium renewal, or you anticipate that may happen, get the next reasonable option. And that's the Highland Insurance Group. They're online at HighlandIG.com. HighlandIG.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. If you're thinking about the spring already, let's get through Thanksgiving and Christmas first, but spring will show up, and it'll be time to get in the pool again, time to get at that outdoor kitchen. And if you want to make sure that your pool's ready for the spring or your outdoor kitchen's ready for the spring, Renaissance Homes and Pools is happy to help you out with that. Check them out, builtbyrenaissance.com, builtbyrenaissance.com, and start that process this month so that you can make sure that when the spring comes, your pool, your outdoor kitchen are ready to go. Also, a big shout out to Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef, Quartz, Cajun Fried Fish, and Shrimp will be out tomorrow and Friday. Those folks help you hear our Thursday and Friday shows. We're going to step aside for Thanksgiving tomorrow and certainly on Friday as well. Lots of football over the weekend. We'll have a ton to talk about on Monday's show. Earlier, I picked the Dolphins to beat the Saints, and I picked the Sooners to beat the Tigers. Not, in my estimation, going to be a wonderful Turkey Day weekend down here in South Louisiana from a football perspective, but maybe there's a new head football coach for LSU by the time we're back on the air. We'll just certainly have to see. One more order of business before we break for Thanksgiving, and that is, of course, take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Still got that delicious beer flavor you look for, but everything you crave in that light beer. If you're looking to pick up multiple cold beers for your Thanksgiving holiday, Flight by Yingling, right there for you. Pick one up. It's the next generation of light beer.
All right, let's start it off with two-time former Saint Brandon Cooks was picked up yesterday by the Buffalo Bills.
He was.
Is he the final puzzle piece to the Bills? Take it or leave it?
I'll leave it. But he's probably going to feel like when he gets out there at practice, like,
it's cold.
This is a little different. It's cold, and this is quarterback's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit different on two fronts for Brandon Cooks there. Look, he's a pro. You don't have to worry about him. Is he going to make a bunch of plays?
No.
I don't think so. So I think it's a fine idea for Buffalo. You got some money laying around. You want to see what you can bring in to potentially help your team. But I don't think it's going to be a significant change to their offensive approach.
All right, so reporters out Nebraska is bracing for Dylan Raiola to enter the transfer portal. Last week, his little brother decommitted from Nebraska, Dalton Raiola.
I saw that.
Huge loss for Nebraska. Take it or leave it.
Can I tell you something in confidence?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never seen Dylan Raiola play football one time in my entire life.
He's like the Patrick Mahomes. He wants to be Patrick Mahomes, but he's not Patrick Mahomes.
I doubt he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's not even close to Mahomes.
I don't watch Nebraska play football. I don't care about Nebraska playing football, so I've never seen him play. If I need to watch him for some reason, I'll turn on the old YouTube highlights and check that out. But there's enough football in my life that I really want to and need to watch. Nebraska's not going to make the cut. I don't care about Nebraska, and Matt Rule can try to change that. I hope he does. I like the good people of Omaha. I hope to spend a lot of Junes up there in the coming years. As of this very moment, don't care about Nebraska football.
Hey, Big Ten, ain't it? So this one, I was listening to OTB this morning. There's a lot of casserole talk.
Okay.
So I just got to get your take. Casseroles, take it or leave it?
Take it.
Wow, man.
I want a good casserole. I want stuff that I like in there.
What's your casserole of choice?
I like a lot of different casseroles. Broccoli cheese casserole.
Casseroles?
Oh, yeah. First of all, breakfast casserole is the GOAT.
Holy smokes!
You never had breakfast casserole?
I'm not a casserole person at all. Don't pass
breakfast
me no
casserole has. Do you eat eggs and sausage and bacon and cheese, and that's what a breakfast casserole is.
Just make an omelet.
It's bigger and fluffier and delicious.
Oh my Lord! They was like, oh yeah, I want a green bean casserole. I'm like, what?
You don't have any casseroles at Thanksgiving?
Oh no! Do not bring that. Not a. Hey,
y'all just have standard size?
No, we got macaroni and cheese.
You have sweet potato casserole?
Yeah, we got sweet potato pie. Similar,
baked sweet potato.
Yeah, we got stuff like that. We got the yams. We got the stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call
Which
it.
is like a casserole. It's just a bunch of stuff put in there and baked.
When they was talking green bean cat, they're like, oh, I think
Well, you
Taylor
might not
said
like
it.
green beans. Like, I don't want a mushroom casserole, which people love.
There's a mushroom casserole?
I mean, there's a bunch of casseroles with mushrooms in them.
Oh,
I don't want that because I don't like mushrooms. But yeah, like I love a sweet potato casserole. I love broccoli cheese rice casserole. A chicken broccoli bake is awesome.
Okay. So I had to ask because OTB was like, oh, everybody was saying these extravagant casseroles. I'm like, oh my God, what is
Are
going
you
on?
a picky eater, Jordan?
No, I'm not a picky eater. So look, this next one. Honey baked ham or turkey? Take it or leave it.
I mean, it's going to be turkey, and I'm going to take that.
I'll
it's
take
fried
it.
turkey. It's
Okay.
delicious. It's phenomenal.
Well, see, it was a trick question. It was a trick question. You're supposed to say both.
I mean, there's a pretty good chance I don't have any ham on my plate. Like, I might. I like ham.
Yes.
I would much rather put ham on bread with mayonnaise and cheese on it
Okay.
than just eat some ham with gravy or something.
Yes.
But fried turkey is fire.
Yes, it is.
And fried turkey goes on a sandwich wonderfully, and I'm looking forward to that coming up this weekend.
Well, that's it for take it or leave
That
it.
is it for Take It or Leave It.
Our
That's it for
casserole
us
talks.
here on this Wednesday. We'll step aside. Hope you'll have a wonderful, happy, and very, very safe Thanksgiving. We'll watch some football. We may get a football coach here in Baton Rouge. We'll see, but we'll react to all of it coming up on Monday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Matt's going to drive you home next. This has been a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. They want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. And that's just because of the wonderful community feel that they offer at First American Bank and Trust. They've been down here in Southeast Louisiana for 115 years. You're talking about a 1910 start. They've grown 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So no matter where you are, from Jones Creek, Dutchtown, right around here, Lafourche, Terrebonne, St. James, St. John's, Tangipahoa, St. Tammany over in Hammond, they got you covered. If you're looking for a commercial loan, work with a bank that's got the resources of the big national bank, but the down home and small town feel that First American Bank and Trust offers. They have a call center right here in South Louisiana. You're going to get a person, not somebody over in Atlanta. It's a community feel and great resources at First American Bank and Trust. They want to wish everybody down here in South Louisiana a happy Thanksgiving. It's First American Bank and Trust.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text